Oh, hello, it's going to be your boy Gomi, and we are going to be looking at a little bit of a different video today. I'm going to be extremely accurately predicting the event schedule for the rest of the year because the UFC and how they handle their events is they follow a sort of pattern or theme or schedule year to year to year in terms of their pay-per-views. Also, we know what fights we still need to have in the year because these fights are either announced or they're titles that have not been put on the line this year or whatever. And we're going to try to analyze what is going to be the schedule, but I think I have it down because two vital key pieces of information have finally been revealed to us for me to properly say, okay, I'm almost certain this is going to be what's going to happen. The first vital piece of information was UFC 291 because 291 was a little bit of a wild card in terms of what it was actually going to be, and then the final piece of information is actually Conor McGregor and USADA finally ending their feud because McGregor doesn't want to test for steroids, but and he finally is in the testing pool, and as long as he does not mess up his test for the next 6 months, he'll be ready by the end of November, which tells me the December pay-per-view. And now let's getting into it. So first, looking off at the schedule currently, we know like tonight is going to be, currently as of this video, is Dern versus Hill. Ugh. And we have a fight night, and at 289 is Nunes versus Irene Aldana. Ugh. Then we have the Fire 290, which is going to be International Fight Week. That's always going to be in Las Vegas. The wild card, like I said, was what they were going to do at 291. Looks like they're going back to Salt Lake City, Utah. And it's going to be Poirier versus Gaethje for the vacant BMF title. God, that is a really, 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 really good card, by the way. Honestly, 290 was looking to be like the most fire card, but this card beats it. But yes, now the thing is that's a little bit weird about this is that it's for the BMF title, but it's not like an actual weight class title on the line. Some people may say that honestly was wasted, and I can see why, because we do have a lot of title fights that need to be a title, and we're probably gonna have to put one as a co-main event that I'm not a fan of, it being a co-main event, but that's mainly the thing. But it probably was how schedules and fighters were working out. Nothing was really meshing properly, unfortunately. But yes, it's still a very good card. Like, look at that. Dustin Poirier versus Gaethje, my most wanted fight currently right now. Blachowicz versus Pereira is going to be a banger. Ferguson versus Green, oh god. Costa versus Ikram, but that's if Costa actually shows up. And don't be surprised if you see Kelvin Gastelum in that spot. Wonderboy Thompson versus Michel Pereira. Chiesa versus Holland. Lewis versus De Lima. It's a good card. It's simply that. It's just a really good card. Now, what is going to be the next fight pay-per-view after that? We also got that announced. Now, we kind of already knew that UFC was going to Boston, and we kind of knew already that they're going to be looking towards O'Malley and Sterling after the 288 pay-per-view. So, yes. Now, granted, Aljamain Sterling saying, he's probably not going to show up there because of his body won't let him, because he's so injured after that glorifying sparring match against Cejudo. Not going to talk about that. But no matter what, the bantamweight title will be on the line. I'm telling you this right now, guaranteed, as long as O'Malley's not hurt. If O'Malley's hurt, they're fine. They're not going to make Aljo fight. No worries. If Aljamain Sterling is hurt, Sean O'Malley is fighting for the title, whether it be interim or the title itself, because they don't like Aljo. They did the same thing with Francis Ngannou. They're going to be making an interim title. It all depends on if Sterling shows up or not. I could see them doing Cejudo versus O'Malley. I could see them doing Merab versus O'Malley. Basically, no matter what, guarantee it, mark these words on UFC 292, Sean O'Malley will be fighting for a title. It does not matter if the champ's there or not. And then we have Zhang Weili versus Amanda Lemos. And that's a little left field out there. I thought they're going to do Yan Zhao Nan, but oh well, regardless, that's going to be on there. We did need the strawweight title to be contested this year because it has not been defended all year. I don't know why they were having Weili sit out. She's not really one for sitting out, to be honest with you. But well, she did sit out after her loss to. No, that wasn't that long. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little weird. Now then, UFC 293, we got confirmation it's going to Sydney, Australia, and per his own words, Israel Adesanya is going to be headlining that card. It only makes sense. There's no reason why they wouldn't. Now, normally you'd think it would be Robert Whittaker. You think Robert Whittaker would be in there, or it's the winner of Robert Whittaker, Dricus Du Plessis. Forgive me, I really hope Dricus Du Plessis wins, to be honest with you, because I don't want to see a trilogy where a guy is 0-2. I hate that. I hate that. And no offense to all Whittaker fans out there. I don't know why there's so many of you, and the man hasn't got a finish since like 2017. But yeah, I don't really want to see Whittaker in there. But to be honest with you, I think he beats Dricus Du Plessis. But I feel Dricus could surprise us. Regardless, the winner of that fight is more than likely who would be there in that spot. But that's the thing, though. These guys are fighting on 290. They're not fighting for another month, 2 months. And then they're going to fight it July 8th. And then you're going to expect them to come back September 10th. Now, Dricus, as long as he's not seriously injured, because that's the thing. Both of these guys can absolutely injure each other. But Dricus, as long as he's not injured and he wins, I feel he'll absolutely be there no matter what. Whittaker, he likes to take breaks. There's nothing wrong with that. That's something he always does. He turned down a title shot because he wanted to spend a Christmas with his family back when Israel Adesanya moved up to light heavyweight. I fully expect that to happen, to be perfectly honest with you, if Whittaker wins, which he will, even if he's not injured. But again, say both guys are injured, how the hell are you going to have them make a 3-month turnaround? Most of these injuries are going to end up being 6 months usually. So who's going to fight in the spot? Well, that's why I think, because Yuri Prohaska is still injured, and they wanted to make August, and he said he can't make August. I don't think he's going to be making it this year, to be honest with you. So you know who I think is going to be in that case? Because we need the light heavyweight title on the line. I honestly fully believe that Whittaker or Dricus is not going to be ready by the 293, and it's going to be Adesanya versus Jamal Hill. I feel Adesanya is going to move up to light heavyweight, try fighting against Jamal Hill, because his main thing is he wants to avoid hardcore wrestlers like Jan Blachowicz isn't even a hardcore wrestler. He just has decent wrestling. He's going to avoid guys like Glover. He's going to avoid guys like Magomed. I know Glover's not fighting, but you know what I mean. So, he's going to be going up against, I feel he's going to move up and fight against Jamal Hill. They need to put the light heavyweight title on the line. They have not done it this year. If Yuri is going to be Yuri and he doesn't return, then I can see them doing it at a later point, which I will mention. But as of right now, this is what I'm actually leaning towards. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm leaning towards this as the matchup for 293. That'd be huge. Sydney is going to have a big Izzy fan base and also double champion status on the line. And I feel it's more of a winnable fight for Izzy. I'm still probably going to lean towards Jamal Hill, to be honest with you. But I think of all the everyone light heavyweight division, the only people, like the best chance Izzy has to beat in the top 5 is Jamal or Yuri. But against a Magomed, a Jan, he'll beat Walker actually. Never mind. I think Walker is easiest. But regardless. Now, 294. We also have confirmation. It's in Abu Dhabi. They always tend to do this as well too. This has become almost a tradition for the past couple of years that they come to Abu Dhabi around this time, the October, September-ish time. And lo and behold, they are. October, they're going back to Abu Dhabi, and they announced this a while ago. They announced this a good bit ago. Now then, it should be the winner of Charles Oliveira and Beneil Dariush. I could see them put whoever wins the BMF title, Poirier versus Gaethje, I could see them give them a title shot against Islam, because if Oliveira wins and gets the finish, they'll definitely do that. Beneil Dariush keeps shooting himself in the foot. He had a very exciting win streak, and then he just didn't sell himself. Now he's getting some fan base because he's still not selling himself. He's doing a horrible job of it. But his thing is, his last couple fights he's been coasting. He coasted against Ferguson, and he coasted against Gamrot. that's shooting himself in the foot. I don't know why these people don't understand. It's knockouts and finishes, knockouts and submissions that get you a title shot. I don't know why you don't understand that. Yes, Islam Makhachev got a title shot off finishing Bobby Green in the first round. It's Bobby Green, but he finished him in the first round, and he was on a 5-fight finish streak. Finish people, Beneil. Go for the finish. Like, because he absolutely could have finished Ferguson. He maybe could have finished Gamrot, but he absolutely could have finished Ferguson, and he needs to go for finish. He needs to finish Charles Oliveira. Thankfully, Oliveira pushes the pace, but I don't know if he gets past him. I think it's a hard fight. I'm going to want Beneil Dariush to win that fight because I want to see a unique matchup for Islam Makhachev, to be honest with you. And I don't want to see Poirier Gaethje get in there, so I feel it should be the winner of Dariush Oliveira, but there's a high chance it could be the winner of Gaethje Poirier or some other thing, because as you know, Leon Edwards wants to fight at 294 for some reason. I don't know why he wants to go Abu Dhabi. I think he might want to try setting up a super fight with Islam. I don't like that. We don't need to do that. Islam just had a super fight. Let him defend his lightweight title. Stop trying to do these super fights for a little bit. Let them like rack up some title defenses. Regardless, that his most likely opponent is going to be Colby Covington. Now, Belal Muhammad. If it's Belal Muhammad, then I'll absolutely see them on this card. But thing is, Islam's headlining. No way in hell Islam is not headlining the card going to Abu Dhabi. Now, I will say Leon Edwards can be on the 294 card in the co-main event if he's fighting Belal Muhammad, because Belal Muhammad has a pretty big fan base. But he's not fighting Colby Covington in Abu Dhabi as a co-main event. Something like that has to be a main event. It will be a main event, and I see no way of them making a co-main event. So regardless, that fight not happening. Leon Edwards, I think they're gonna have different plans for him. 295 has been soft confirmed by the big boss Dana White, but we know this is another pattern. In November, they almost always go to Madison Square Garden. Now, this fight was supposed to be on International Fight Week, but Stipe and Jones are both prima donnas, and I hate having them at the top of the heavyweight division, and they didn't want to fight in July. Because Stipe, you know, he's so tired from not having fought in over 2 years, and Jones is so tired from his 1-minute fight against Cyril Gane. So they're going to do it more likely in Madison Square Garden. Dana White said that's what they're looking for. If these two fight at all, it will be there. I hate Stipe being in that spot, to be honest with you. It should be Sergey. Stipe has not earned it. He does not deserve it. I'm sorry. He has not fought in almost 3 years. And his last fight, he was knocked out viciously in the second round, dominated. That, regardless, this is what's going to be at 295. I almost certainly feel it. And also, I feel the co-main event will be Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington. Jones versus Stipe is a bigger enough fight to pop over Leon Edwards and Colby Covington, and then this makes the most sense for this fight because they're gonna love Colby down in Madison Square Garden. I feel this is your most likely fight as a co-main event for 295. I hate Colby also getting a title shot. He doesn't deserve it. It should be Belal Muhammad. He is the clear rightful deserving one of getting a title shot. He finished my BMF, or he fought against my BMF and won on 6 days notice, which is Gilbert Burns, and he's finished. How many people has he beaten in the top 10? It's 5 now, right? 5, I believe. It's insane. Belal Muhammad should get a title shot, but Dana White's adamant on Colby getting it. So I feel this is going to be definitively where they're going to fight. 295, they're going to fight here. If Belal Muhammad rightfully gets a title shot, they'll be at 294, the co-main event. But no matter what, because Leon Edwards waited and he didn't want to do July, he lost his main event spot. There's no way he's main eventing over any of these last pay-per-views that are coming out, unfortunately, unless they put him in 292, but I don't think that's going to happen. And due to a final piece of information, like we found out, Conor McGregor will be cleared late November. I think the Madison Square Garden card would be end of November, but regardless, he wouldn't be there. He's going to be at the T-Mobile Arena in December for UFC 296, fighting against Michael Chandler. I feel this is all but confirmed by the fact that USADA said he'll be ready mid-November, because he needs to be in there for 6 months. It's May. 6 months pass. Boom. It's going to be time for December pay-per-view. Conor McGregor has to headline a pay-per-view. I don't like that, to be honest with you as well, but he sells the most of everyone in UFC, and him versus Chandler will be a very fun fight. So that's going to be your pay-per-view for December. Now, I didn't mention Yuri and Hill, to be honest with you, because I don't know. I don't think they're going to have Yuri fight this year. I don't think they are. They're not. I would be so upset if they made that the co-main event of 296, Yuri versus Hill. Like, say Yuri is ready around this time and they save Hill, I'll be so pissed. I feel like they have to put the light heavyweight title on the line at some point this year. They could put it at 295 and that could be a triple title like headliner. They haven't done that in years. What's the last time they did that? I think the last time they did that was, oh man, I don't remember. I honestly have no idea when's the last time they did a triple title fight. That's something that they can do for 295, but I would really hate for that to be the third fight on the card, and they would make more money putting out his own card. So I have no idea when they do that. If they don't do it in August, which Yuri says that's not happening, I think they're gonna put the light heavyweight title on the line against Izzy, and if they don't, Hill's sitting out for a year because there's no other place that they could squeeze it in. Like, yeah, they could have probably squeezed something in if they didn't do 291. If 291 wasn't Poirier versus Gaethje and they made it Edwards versus Colby, or Jones versus Stipe, but they have to be prima donnas about it, then they could have did that. But as of right now, I feel your most likely scenario is that Yuri and Hill do not fight this year, and the light heavyweight title is contested at 293. And there you go. Yep. Just to recap, 291, Poirier versus Gaethje. Sterling versus O'Malley and Zhang versus Lemos, 292. 293, I feel is going to be Izzy versus Hill. 294 will be Islam versus somebody. Please, dear Lord, let it be Dariush. 295 will be Jones versus Stipe and Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington. And 296 will be McGregor versus Chandler. Timestamp this video because I feel I am correct. Mark this video. Believe it right now. This is for sure going to be the end of the year pay-per-view schedule. And if I'm wrong, if I'm right, you have to send me some Venom coupon. Alright, well, once again, this has been your boy Gomi. Let me know what you think the end of your schedule is going to be. Bye-bye.